Hey guys, Quicksilver here. Just going to be doing a quick setup guide for the Apex framework slash Invade Linux. This has been like a very requested feature over the years, so I figure I finally get around to it. So this is going to assume that you can navigate to these three pages. So I have here open on the left is the like the GitHub for this framework. So if you can navigate here, you're already, in my opinion, halfway to having everything set up. And over here on the right, I have two windows already open. Just to make it easier, the first is the Arma 3 directory. This is like your main. You might have a setup where like your server has its own Arma directory. If you have a setup like that, you have to identify which folder is your Arma 3 directory. But it's the one with the like the MP missions folder and all the add-ons and maybe mods if you have them. So, and down here I have my downloads, like my computer downloads folder, just to make it easier to see. These are the three windows I have to start with, and we're just gonna go down the steps listed in the README here. Like we're just gonna go top to bottom down here. So it says like 60 minutes. That's for like first time. You know, stuff can go wrong. You're not sure which folder is which. But it should be faster than that. So, step 0 says download the all files.zip thing up here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's widen it a bit. Whereas it is right here. So we're going to download this. Here's the download button on GitHub. So we're going to download this. It's about 100 megabytes. So depending on your download speed, it shouldn't be too bad. So we're going to save in downloads, yep. Alright, so we got it here. I'm not going to open yet, I'm just going to go back to our setup guide. Let's place mission PBO files in your MP missions folder. There should be a step here saying like extract, but that's like maybe it assumed awareness, like assumed abilities. So basically you're just going to extract, I just do it right here. So you can just do it to like a folder right here. So we have our extracted folder. And what does this say? It says place mission PBO files in your server's MP missions folder. In my case it's shared, like my client and server both use this. So I've opened this folder and I see all the default, like these are the vanilla like official PBOs that come with it. You can do whatever you want with them in the editor, make modifications that you want to do, and then re-upload. That's up to you. But just to get everything working like vanilla default, this is what we do. So we copy all these, just drag them into your MP missions folder. So in my MP missions folder, I have these 4 PBOs. Let's go back to our directory. Step 2 says place the Apex folder in your server's Arma 3 directory. This is like the Arma 3 directory. So what we have here, we have an Apex folder. We're just going to copy this in. You'll see it up here at the top. It says run it as server mod in your Arma launch options. There's lots of different launchers for Arma. I just use like a batch file. I'm minimalist like that. I don't want to use like a program for it. Like I have a little folder called server here. Just for, this is where my RPT logs come out and whatnot. I have some like headless client. This is my little run script here. So this is my Arma launcher file, and this is the command line for it. So what does it say? It says have Apex folder as a server mod. So right here it says in quotations server mod equals at Apex. So that is being run as a server mod. So that is set up as that. Says step 3, place the Apex CFG folder in your server's Arma 3 directory. We have an Apex CFG folder. No, that's not the right folder. I want to go back to our directory. It should sit right beside the Apex folder. So you'll see 1 and 2 sitting right here if you have it working. Do not run the Apex CFG as a mod or server mod. Just leave it alone. This is like unpacked files for easy editing. It's not interpreted like a mod. Like this is a proper mod, whereas Apex CFG is like parameters and config files that you can edit between restarts. You don't have to fiddle with mods. So that is like that, and to ensure that it works, like this is, these are files that you can patch into the game called file patching. But in order for that to work, you have to enable file patching on your server, step 3C here. So if I go back to my little server batch file, right here, open this, you can see right up front I have file patching right here. I wonder why it looks like this. This is strange. Anyways, if I open this again, okay, there. I just had it scrolled across already. So I have file patching here in my server launch file, launch parameters, and you can see if it's enabled. Like if I go into my server RPT from like a log file, you can see if it's enabled and everything is enabled. Like at the top of it, these top two lines pretty much match up with this. So this is my launch file with launch parameters. Like I have the auto in it. Some other stuff here, limit FPS, that's a good one for invading Linux. And if I go to my RPT, this top two lines, it says file patching right here. So I know if it's working just by looking at the top line of my RPT file. So if file patching is enabled, that's good. We're going to go down to step 4 now. Just copy the difficulty options from server.arma3 profile into your server's Arma 3 profile. This was probably the tricky one that trips up people. Like they're not sure which profile their server is running. Like maybe they copy it into like I'm just clicking through. They copy it into like a random Arma 3 profile, but it's not the one that gets loaded. You can see which one your server is using in your RPT file. Up the top of the log file, you can see. Let's go across, look for profiles. Just a sec. Yeah, you go across. Look for two things. You're looking for profiles, so you can see where all your profiles are stored, and it's going to be like the folder structure. So it says here like Arma 3 server, and then it stops there. The folder structure is such that inside that server folder, there's going to be another subfolder called users, and this users, like it doesn't say users there, but it could, like it could just as easily say that. So inside this users folder is a few different. These are auto-generated by the command line. So if you set this up, it's going to create this users folder, and then if you come over here, you can see, where are we? I'm looking for the profile name. Yeah, okay, the name right here. It says name, sorry, keeps on going over. It says name equals Apex, and this is like the profile name. It could also just as easily say profile name. And inside, if you have it set like that, then this is the user/profile that's getting loaded within this folder. So we go Arma 3 server users, and then we have Apex headless client. So I'm looking for this name right here. So we have Apex. This is the one that is currently getting used by the server. So right here, the vars is like where all the data that you write to the file gets stored. You don't want to touch that. You want to look at this one. So this one, if I open this, this is the server's profile right now. And it's set up accurately. But for this video, we'll just go ahead and copy stuff over. So pretend this is not correct. We need to take the actual one, which is in our downloads thing that we just downloaded. So look for type Arma 3 profile. If I open this up and just split it off, this is the one. This one right here is the one that we just pulled out of the download zip file. And all you want to do is just copy everything in it. You could even just copy it straight across, but to keep the file names working properly, you just paste it all in. And there's a few key things you need to make sure. Like you need to make sure some of these map content things are 0. Latest update has waypoints set to 0. Tactical ping can be either 1. It just requires a few of these to be set to 0 so the framework scripting can take over. That's why you just copy it across and leave it. Once you're more comfortable with the setup process, then you can start fiddling and seeing what works and not. But just to start, you want to get it all click of a button to run, and then you can start debugging and tweaking from there. So yeah, now our profile is copied across, custom difficulty and all that, all good. So that is, and I'll just click on these images to show. These images say, yeah, so server.arma3 profile, or, oop, now we're lost. Or, if I click on this one, yeah, so it's, I have here like some key ones that have to be set to 0. Those are the ones you have to watch for. But if you just copy the file straight across, you don't have to worry about it. So moving on, that's the difficulties. Now we want to look at the server config file. This is one of the easier ones. Let's go back to our main directory, and I have it all like tucked away in this server file right here. So if I just delete this, this is mine. So you like in the downloads folder coming out of the zip file, you have the CFG server.cfg. You'll have a basic.cfg and a server.cfg. You need both, but we'll do the server one first. So you copy this in, and that's going to take, we're going to have to set this up a little bit. We're going to have to set up the server CFG. In your server CFG, ensure your server will load the correct difficulty options. So, actually, if we go back, you'll notice in the user's Apex profile, notice up the top we have custom difficulty. That's important. We want to match this up with the server CFG. We close all this. Come back. We just copied this in, so we'll open this. And we want to make sure it's running the right missions. So we're going to go right off the bat. It should all work fine. It's already pre-configured. But we'll just go through and have a look. So you want to make sure you go down to like the mission section. You want to make sure that it looks like this structure here. And we can select which template we want to launch. Like this is the terrain pretty much. So we'll start running it on Altus. So we'll uncomment this. So it's going to run Altus. And you only want, like, you don't want, if you have it like this too uncommented, then you're going to have problems. You want to make sure that only one is active. These double brackets or these double slashes mean comments, mean the engine's not going to read these lines. Yeah, so it's going to run Altus. One template is uncommented. Force difficulty, this is important. It's got to be custom so that it reads the correct profile in here, custom difficulty. Mission whitelist is not too important. Like I don't have it set in here. This is for like mission selection, but if you run like auto in it, then it's not going to give you a whitelist option. But we'll copy it over anyways, just to synchronize everything. That's copied over. And yeah, ensure that force difficulty equals custom. We have that. At this time, double check to ensure the mission template matches the missions you're trying to run. Yes. We're trying to run this Altus one, and it is indeed in our MP missions folder. Right there, all good. In our server CFG file, we need to ensure that we have a server command password set. This is for like auto kicks, like the auto admin thing in there. executes its own auto kicks. The restart scheduler does its own restarts. So it needs this set. It's just like that's a random default password, but we could do like it's down the bottom here in security. You go down to security, find server command password, and you want to change it like ABC123. And it says here, make a note of the password. You'll need it now. Copy it to your clipboard. So copy ABC123. And we want to synchronize this with some of the built-in server functions. So what does it say? It says make a note. You'll need it now. Copy it to your clipboard. 7A. Open the new Apex CFG. So we go to our Arma directory. We have this folder we just copied in. Open the new Apex CFG folder which you placed in your Arma directory. Open it up. Open the parameters.sqf file. So open that. This is what it looks like. You may or may not have a syntax highlighter, like to make it colored. But you're looking for server command password equals that. So we're going down. Oh, we found it right here. The server command password. Ignoring the quotations, like there's multiple quotations here. Ignoring the quotations, copy your server command password into that line. So we're going to just copy it in, ABC123 like that. And yeah, obviously we don't want to use this password because this is public on the internet. Now we want to also ensure that we change the admin login password in server CFG. So we'll go back to our server CFG file. Server CFG, go up. In the top here we have password admin. Yeah, I'll just type a random one like, what was that? 123 ABC backwards. This never gets used, by the way. It's just you don't want someone like a cheater coming in and accessing it. So the next step is to do some tweaking of the parameters. This is where you can take a bit of time. Like you're at the last step right here. So you can take a bit of time to like do what you need to do in this file, just to like make everything run how you want it to run. So you can set your Discord like this. There'll be like a map marker in the center of the map that'll come up, and it'll display like it says TeamSpeak server. That's like a legacy thing. So some people use TeamSpeak, but more and more people are using Discord. You can set your Discord thing there, and people will know what link to go to. You can do like you can set website links that people can click on, Discord server links, Arma unit links. You can set all that stuff. You can set like your staff names, like Bob, Miller, if your name's Miller or Carey or whatever. You can set all that up. And then you can go through your parameters. So I have it set for default base layout. We'll go close air support will be enabled, so anyone can jump in CAS. Arsenal will use whitelisted. Armor, which is like heavy vehicles, enabled. Reduce damage, leave it on. Stamina, no one likes it, leave it off. Enemy CAS, we'll leave that on. Commander, if you run a command structure, you might want that slot. Base artillery, base computer, map content, enemy. I've done a lot of scripting with this, so it's okay to leave it on. It's not gonna it doesn't give much assistance anymore. Recruitable AI. This is basic template right here. That's fine. I want to run it as a. So you go down here. You can select which mission type you want. This is the bit here. This is main mission type equals none. This is like running. If you have it run with none, it means like no main missions will spawn. Like it'll just be a blank map and no missions will come up. You could run like the insurgency mode. You could run sector control. Most people just run classic invade and annex though. That's fine. In this case, I'm going to run it as like a Zeus mission. like a template for people to come in as use. So I'll turn everything off. I'll run it as none. These are your options here. Side missions, the default side missions, we want those off as well, so set that 0. Aircraft carrier, do we want that? Yeah, maybe, nah, maybe not the aircraft carrier. Maybe we want to spawn on the destroyer ship. Maybe we want everyone to spawn on the destroyer so we can run a little, I'll run a little mission. So we'll leave the aircraft carrier disabled, doesn't matter, but we will enable the destroyer, and yeah, we want turret defenses. We want it to be able to defend itself. So we'll set that to 0, 1, 2. Set that to 2. Destroyer vehicles. Yeah, we want some vehicles on the destroyer, like the helicopter and the boats. Respawning 0 or 1. We want everyone to spawn on the destroyer, so we'll do that. Destroyer artillery, like the VLS and the naval cannons. Yeah, we want that too. This is just, do we want the hangar doors to start open or closed? We'll start them closed, so we'll set that to 0. I'll leave all this community texture stuff the same. Anti-cheat, yeah, we'll leave that on, whatever. Cosmetics, whatever. And then that's that. Now I just come over here to my server file, the Arma directory in my server file. I got my little run script. You might have other ways of launching it, like TADST or another Arma launcher. So I'm just going to run this. I should probably launch Arma first, hey? Yeah, I know you're supposed to launch your client first, like spawn into the game before you start the server. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to open Arma first. When it lets me. Alright, there we go. So I'll launch Arma. Actually, I haven't given myself Zeus permissions yet. Maybe I'll do that too. Yeah, I think I'll do that too. I'll make it so I can open Zeus. But I don't need to do anything for that. Like, I just need to put my player ID. So I'll find my player ID so I can add it to Zeus. Get my, once we get in. Alright, so I'll go up here to the corner, player profile, go over to unit, and I forget where it is. It's like, it's in here somewhere. Someone will have to like help me find it. Manage my player profile, and then I forget where I forget where it is. It's somewhere in here is like your edit. Help me out, guys. Where do I get my player ID from here? It should just be sitting right there, shouldn't it? Custom. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so that's a bit convoluted. Hi. So click on your name, edit, unit, custom, and then your player ID will sit there. We'll just grab that, copy that, come out of here. We haven't launched our server yet. So if you go to the Apex CFG, we go to whitelist. This is where you put in all your player IDs. And these are like generic IDs, like as template. No one actually has these. It's just so you know how to put it in. Mine's actually sitting up there for reference. So we want to find, this is whitelisted roles, cast jet, commander, op4 slots, all staff IDs. That's good to have there if I'm running Zeus missions. Admin IDs, moderator IDs, trusted, media, Zeus. There's what we want. And yeah, since I do a bit of scripting, I'll also add it to the developer slot down the bottom. Mind your commas, make sure you don't have too many. And then we're gonna launch it up again. That should be that. Close all this. Back to our thing. Run the batch file. I like to wait until it's loaded. I just read this to make sure it's doing what it has to do. Reading mission, I want to see, okay, game started, all good. I'm going to go in. And then I'll leave this up to you. Like, you'll have to find it, you'll have to figure out how to find your server. So mine, I just do like custom or direct connect, join. And then I have here, this is my server that I just launched. I'll load in here. Select role, doesn't matter. By now you already know what you're doing. So we're just loading in to show us that it all works. So we should spawn on a destroyer and no main mission should spawn, and we should have Zeus controls. Yep, looks like it works. Seems all good. Yep, we spawn on a destroyer. Doors closed. Helicopter spawns outside just because. We'll open our doors. Make sure we got our helicopter here. Make sure we got our admin tools. Shift F2. Got my dev terminal. Yeah, got that. And we have Zeus. We indeed do have Zeus. Yeah, there you have it. We've just gone through from start to finish setting up the Apex framework on a multiplayer server. Until the next one, guys, thank you.